Aquarius, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for June 27th through the 3rd of July, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Aquarius, let's go and start this reading by looking at your ruler Saturn, who isn't forming any major aspects this week, but it's still part of this big picture thing that I think you're developing with your career. Maybe some of you assuming some responsibilities there in your career, reflecting on those responsibilities, taking things nice and slow in this department. You know, this is about the big picture, of course, with Saturn. And over the next couple of years, you're building these foundations with your career life, with your productive life, which I think is great to continue to work on and yet still reflect on this week, because Saturn's going to be retrograde up and through August, which is this reflective energy about your work and big picture things in your life. Now, regarding relationships, of course, Jupiter and the North Node are still very close in that 7th house, so there should still be plenty you're learning about relationships, and maybe even opportunities with relationships could be quite strong at the moment. And that Jupiter is going to be sextiling up to Venus here on Friday, so maybe that day there could be something enjoyable, but that's kind of a minor note. And then over the weekend, the Sun is going to be trining up to Neptune. The Sun does rule that 7th house of yours, so yeah, maybe easy going, particularly over the weekend in that trine. Could be nice with those one-to-one connections. Now, regarding the work sector, this is seen by Mars, particularly the big picture work, which although there's this reflection on still, there's a shift happening here. Mars direct, he's been retrograde for the past few months, and if you've been feeling that in the career side of things or with the work, or again this re-examination about what motivates you here, what you can think about, all the stuff you've learned is now starting to move forward, and there could even be a shift with the career and work stuff here around Wednesday. So it's good to be open to that, and this is a new source of motivation and drive. And on another level, what I think a lot of motivation and drive is maybe to cultivate a bit of that adventurous spirit in your life. It's possibilities, the open range. This has been a Mars retrograde in your 9th, helping you learn more about this. Maybe things like philosophy or spirituality or connecting with nature, going for walks. All of this stuff of the 9th house can be a great source of motivation Wednesday going into July. So that takes us to the financial side of things, which is seen by Jupiter, because Jupiter rules that 2nd house of yours. Chiron is going retrograde, though, on Monday. So one thing I want to say is that there could be some reflection about the financial stuff for the next 5 to 6 months. I think is good, because this year, Chiron going in here has been helping you heal wounds relating to your sense of self-worth, your self-reliance, and I think it's a good time to reflect on that, which then could lead to more healing in that department there. Now, back to this Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to be sextiling up to Venus again around Friday, so there could be some opportunity or opening there with the finances. Jupiter can join the North Node. You guys are still learning a lot, I think, about the financial stuff, whether it's saving, assets, again, maybe that sense of self-worth and self-reliance. So that takes us to the overview in terms of what we haven't covered. I think we've pretty much covered it, though. No, we got Mercury and Venus we haven't covered. So Mercury here squaring up to Chiron on Monday. Could be a bit of healing taking place with what is shaping up your self-expression. You're going to have a new moon here in your 5th house at the very beginning of next week, next Monday, relating to these things that maybe you've been focused on more lately, like expressing yourself, maybe some of you connecting to your creative side, maybe your hobbies, your interests, that kind of a thing. And it's still great to enjoy all this self-expressive stuff. Mercury is actually going to shift into here this middle part of the week around Wednesday, so it could be maybe more mental for you, where you're thinking more about that self-expression or communicating it or whatever it might be. But yeah, new beginnings there starting next month with that self-expression. Now back to that Mercury, though. Mercury squaring up to Chiron here on Monday, very beginning of the week. Maybe there's a bit of that healing that's taking place with that self-expression. So I think just on that day in particular, just being open to any wounds that come up and that acceptance can go a long ways. Now Venus is trining up to Neptune on Monday also. So there is a bit of maybe easygoingness in your personal life. And on this level, maybe with your self-expression, it's kind of this mixed bag, So yeah, so easygoingness, this is all about, again, enjoying that inner spark. Then as we go into the rest of the week, there's that Mars direct, which will be there on Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday, Venus does oppose up to Pluto and sextiles up to Jupiter. So in this sense, it's all about balance here. And I think the balance will be particularly with your emotional body, with your personal life, and maybe even those adventurous spirits, since Venus rules that ninth also. But whatever it is, it's about balance with your self-expression, about enjoying things, yet remembering that there are things transforming with your aspirations, any type of group things, organizations you're a part of, and having, I think, a balance with those two areas, both your self-expression and your aspirations, I think will be important there around that Thursday, Friday time. But, Venus sextiling up to Jupiter supports that. This has been this powerful change happening there with what will be, I think, these key areas this week. All right, so that's that one. And then, like I said, at the very end of the week, we do have the Sun trining up to Neptune, which could be particularly easygoing with those one-to-one connections. All right, so Aquarius, I hope you guys have an excellent week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week.